Alright, what's up guys? We're here with a quick little unboxing of the new Glottkin book and the future Blightkings models. So they just came out, well, the models came out 3 weeks ago, but the book just came out this past weekend. It's a pretty good read so far. I've only gotten about halfway through. But it really changes up, at least for Chaos players, a lot of the ways they're going to be building lists. So we can get right into it, I guess. So first of all, we'll do the models first. So the future Blightkings, they're sort of the new infantry models for the Warriors of Chaos or the Chaos Legions. They look like monstrous infantry, but they're not quite. They're just infantry on 40mm bases. Really great kit though. I've had a chance to sort of go through it, and there's just tons of options. So we can get right into it here. Yeah, so it's 3 sprues, just the bases, whatever. Comes with 5 guys, but they're really big. And one of the things about them is they can choose what weapon they use at the beginning of combat. So they can either have a great weapon, 2 hand weapons, or a hand weapon and shield. And all the options for that are in this kit. So there's a ton of extra pieces here. For 5 guys, it comes with, I think, something like 12 heads. Each model has a choice of 2 torsos, so you can really make them different from each other. And all those weapon options, so you can kit them out any way you want on the models. But the great thing about the kit is you're left with a ton of extra, bits and stuff to spread around your army and really make them nice. We can go over the rules right quick for them. So they're 40 points a model, weapon skill 6, strength 4, toughness 5, 3 wounds, initiative 5, and have 3 attacks each. You can upgrade them with the regular stuff, so champion, musician, standard bearer. And they come with mark and nurgle base, so weapon skill 6 guy with mark and nurgle is pretty nice. It does suck that they are just regular infantry. Like, a lot of people thought they were going to be monstrous infantry because they are on those 40mm bases, but I don't know, I think you can probably find a way to make them work. A lot of people have sort of poo-pooed them on the internet, but I don't subscribe to the idea that a unit is not that great just because of its stats. If you want to make it work, you'll find a way. I'm thinking like a little 5-man unit flanker force.
Yeah, kind of a different kind of chaff, eh?
Yeah, for sure. Like, okay, 40 points a model is expensive, but if you slap it into flank with these guys, they do have 3 attacks each, and they can either have great weapons or the paired weapons, so you can get a lot of output on them. And even if you want them to tank a bit, they have chaos armor, so you can make them hold their hand weapon and shield, and with marker nurgle, they can take a good licking before they're out of there.
Yeah, I'm sure people will find some use for them.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think of the kit?
I love it. It makes me want to get a chaos army, actually. I don't know much about the army, but I'm looking at the conversion possibilities and having like a sick, chaos nurgle lord that you can convert just about endlessly with all the bits and pieces here. In fact, it looks like you can almost just make this kit, like with the regular guys, and still have enough.
Yeah, for sure.
To convert your BSB, your lord, whatever. So, like little shields like this that are pretty cool. There's a couple of heads on here that are pretty nice. Like, that's a pretty mean looking head,
Yeah.
like just sweet stuff. And like, there was like this axe, or that's the scythe you were saying, eh?
Yeah, the scythe. Like, that's just a cool piece for even like a sorcerer lord or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so there seems to be enough bits here to make, the 5 guys and the and have enough to convert. So there's some of their stats. I don't know if we're allowed to show that.
Too late.
Too late. All right, so we'll be back in a sec with the book.
Sure. All right, and we're back. We got the book this time. So this is part 2 of the End Times series that Games Workshop's putting out. This time it's about the Glottkin, which is shown here. So it's 3 brothers, and they're the leader of Archaon's first invasion force. It's all about nurgle guys, basically, which is, pretty awesome for me since that's most of my armies. It follows the same format as the Nagash book, so it comes in a nice slipcase here. 2 books. One has all the story and one has all the rules, so we can get into that here. I guess we can start with the storybook. So, book 1, Glottkin, basically follows this guy's trek through the Empire. The main goal of their invasion is to sack Altdorf, the Empire capital. I won't tell you what happens, but that's basically the premise of this book. Just like the last book, it's broken up into chapters, sort of the story as it progresses, but it's just chock full of like really nice art, all new stuff. Well, there's some recycled art, but a lot of it's new. A lot of it's really well done. Like, that's just an amazing picture. I don't know if you can get that with the light, but
Yeah, I'm able to avoid it.
They do have, let's see if we can find one here. So each battle, they'll show sort of like the main regiments and players in that fight and have a little blurb about each one. And then on the edge here, they list like each unit that isn't sort of gone over here, just so if you want to ever like recreate the force or the fight yourself. Those are sort of the models you can use. Which is cool. It's cool like to get like that sort of close up little stories about each unit that's taken part in the battle. Get like their backstory and sort of maybe why they do the things they do. But yeah, like this is mostly just stories.
I love this.
Yeah, more great art.
Yeah.
This is a picture of Gutrot Spoom. He just had a model come out, and he's sort of like the leader of the Nurgle invasion force's plague fleets. So he's a pretty badass guy. He's part Kraken, I guess. His backstory was he got in a fight with one, and just before he died, he prayed to Nurgle, and he sort of meshed them into one giant sort of weird monster thing. This one doesn't go over all the factions like Nagash did. This one sort of just focuses on the Chaos Invasion Force and the Empire's reaction to them. There are other armies, like the chapter I just read. There was a big fight between the Nurgle guys and a Forest Goblin force with Spider Riders and stuff. It was pretty intense.
Sick.
So there will be, I guess, sort of little cameos from the other races, but basically this really just focuses on those 2 factions and what happens in the outcome. A lot of chaos, a lot of Nurgle. So that's basically this book. Same as before. Cool pictures. Production quality, like...
Bretonnians in there.
Yeah, Bretonnians have a big role. Production quality is good. The story is really tight as well. Same as the last time, so I have no complaints so far. And then there's book 2, and that's sort of the new rules, new characters and stuff. So we can start here. So the first chapter goes over the types of narrative battles and stuff. So there's new missions in this book, and they go over sort of each major battle that happens in the storybook. So if you ever want to recreate those fights or have ideas for your own games, those are available to you. There is a new way to play if you so choose, and it's Streets of Death, which I'm really excited about. I hope we get to do this in our videos. It's basically rules to how to do like a city fight in Warhammer, something that's sort of been hard in the past, but they sort of streamlined some things, add some new rules for like building barricades on the streets or like lighting buildings on fire. It's really cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's really thematic, and there's you can do a lot of fun stuff with it, which is great about this new series. It's not just like sort of sterile rules and updates. There's a lot of narrative behind it that lets you play nice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, keep going. Okay, so the big thing is the new army. And it's
What everybody's waiting for.
what everyone wants to see. It's the Legions of Chaos. So what this is just like in the last book, they combined Tomb Kings and Vampire counts. This time they combined all three of the Chaos armies, so Beastmen, Warriors of Chaos, and the Demons, and basically made them one big list. It's nice. I'm not sure how well it will be or how overpowered it will be in the long run, but it's nice and thematic that lets you combine all those armies. There is some changes to them, such as the Beastmen now get marks, which is awesome. It's basically the same marks as in the Wars of Chaos book, but you can now take them on your Beastmen, which is cool. Let's see. This basically just goes over the same rules that are in all the other books, just have them all in one place for you. One of the cool things though is Beastmen characters get the Eye of the Gods rule, which is the same as the Warriors one, so they always have to issue and accept challenges, and if they win their challenge they could roll on the Eye of the Gods. The funny thing about this though is if they ever roll the Daemon Prince one, they instead become a spawn, because their souls are already given away to chaos, so they can never actually become demons, which is kind of funny. Other than that, sort of what you expect. There's a new Reign of Chaos table. Not really too different. They just changed the 7 spell. So basically, whatever your general it is, if you roll a 7, it'll go to that god's choice on the chart instead. There's also a new spell. I think I passed it, but it lets you summon demons. Maybe I didn't pass it. There's a new spell.
We lost it.
We lost it. Whatever. It's basically just a single summoning spell for Chaos Sorcerers. It allows them to summon demons either at 100 points, 150, or 200 points worth of models, with varying casting costs, obviously. The cool thing about it is it's an extra spell. So say you're a level 2 wizard, you get your normal 2 spells, and then you know that one as well. So, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be used dirtily somehow. Then we get into the new unit. So the big one is the Glottkin. What a pimp. Yeah, I can get his stat line there.
Wounds 12.
12 wounds, so he breaks the rule of 10. He's pretty beastly. Sort of a Chaos Lord, Chaos Wizard, and then just some giant fat monster all rolled into one. He's the main character of this book. Sort of the leading general for the invasion force. We won't go too much into them, just sort of give an overview of the book. So then we get into his Magoth Lords, which are like his lieutenants. They're riding like these big slug monster things. So Orgoth's Demon Spew. Pretty crazy stat line. Some cool items and stuff on them. Then there's the wizard version. Globe. Some great names for these guys. Very nerdly. So his monster shoots a big, gross, phlegmy pus thing. Then there's the other guy, Morbidex.
He's like super nurgling.
Yeah, he buffs up nurglings.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. He just looked like a super nurgling.
Yeah, I think his backstory was he was trying to find the Garden of Nurgle, and on his way there, a big tide of nurglings came and sort of washed him away, and he took on some of their powers, and that's why he looks like a big fat nurgling. If you can sort of block the light there.
Mm-hmm. If I had a Nurgle army, this would be my lord.
Yeah, so one of his rules is all Nurgling units within 12 inches of Morbidex have the regeneration special rule. Yes. So he buffs them up around him. So I can see like him in the middle and then just like tons of Nurglings all around.
385 points, that's not too bad.
Yeah. Then there's the future Blightkings. So we just showed their new models in the last book and went over their stats. But here's Here's a cool picture of them all just doing cool stuff. And then there's Gutrot Spume. So he's a new Lord level character. He's not too great, but I have a feeling I'm going to get him just because the story was so cool. He's basically a hero version of the Blightkings. But he counts as a lord, so whatever.
No.
Yeah, then there's
Why?
Festus from the Warriors of Chaos, but they made him better. So,
Yeah, because he needed to be better.
Well, so yeah, there's not too much change of him. Like, he keeps all his old rules, but he's now a level 3 wizard.
If it was like Epidemius empowered, I'd QQ.
Yeah. One of his things is if he ever has to roll in the Eye of the Gods table, he just becomes a demon, no matter what you roll. Or a Demon Prince.
What?
Yeah.
So if he wins, never accept a challenge from Festus.
Because if he rolls in the Eye of the Gods, he becomes a Demon Prince.
That's brutal.
He has a new bound spell, power level 5. It's called Shrouding. And it's an augment spell for your units, and if the spell is cast, then all friendly models within 12 of the caster are treated as being in hard cover until the start of the caster's next magic phase. So that's pretty cool. The other one, what was his other special rule? Oh yeah, Gardener of Nurgle. If Festus is on the battlefield, then enemy units must treat all difficult terrain as dangerous terrain instead. In addition, in the Streets of Death, which is the city fight rules, if they are being used, then all alleyways are counted as dangerous terrain. Yeah.
How many points is he relative to the original Festus?
Almost doubled.
Okay.
I think he's 180 in the Warriors book.
Okay, so yeah, he's not cheap.
He's not cheap, but he's pretty good. He's got one more wound. Like, he has the stat line of a Lord level sorcerer now instead of the hero level.
Does he count as a hero or a lord?
He counts as a Lord, so it's like he's a powered up version.
Oh, okay.
The next one. Oh, jeez. Here we go.
Yes.
Carl Franz.
That's sick art, though. I love that.
Yeah, the big glowing Galmaraz.
Yeah.
Lightning coming off him.
Yeah, exactly. I love this.
There's a reason for that. I read ahead. I'm not going to let you guys know on the videos. I don't want to ruin the story for you, but it's pretty badass. Like,
I want you to tell me.
I'll tell you after. So he got a new combined profile with Deathclaw.
So basically, 2,400 point game. You can start off at 1,600, and I'll just take him.
Pretty much. A lot of people are raging about this guy on the net. He's basically become this super crazy combat monster. Ton of wounds, ton of attacks. He's got a new bound spell, so basically he shoots lightning now. The Essence of Galmaraz, so his hammer got a little bit better. Instead of D3 wounds, it does D3 plus 1 runes, and any hits automatically wound. So
No saves.
No saves. So he's your way of dealing with
Everything.
well, the other big papas on the street, so like Nagash and the Glottkin, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a 4-up ward. He flies. He's a monster. He's basically just...
But he's only toughness 5 out of 3 up.
Yeah. Only. With 9 wounds. Really, I don't see a problem with him because you get what you pay for. You know, he's an 800 point plus model.
Yeah.
He better be good.
Yeah, exactly. He better be pretty sweet.
So, it's cool. He joins the Empire. One of the things to remember is, like, all these Ascendant guys, you can't take the old version either. It's either one or the other, not both. So you can't have 2 Festuses or 2 Carl Franzes tooling around. And then Chapter 3 is all the different missions. So it goes over, you know, the different fights that happen, the sacking of different towns, all that stuff. Basically, your general things. So, that's the second book. I'm really happy. It's going to be awesome. I'm trying to figure out how to blend my 2 armies and start up my Beastmen now to get all the stuff going. I haven't really come up with a list yet, but I've sort of toyed around with a few things. I'm excited for this because as a Nurgle only player, this is basically like Warhammer porn for me.
yeah.
And it's just nice to see this series continue. Like, this is really like a cool time, I guess, for Warhammer players. We haven't really had this much new stuff coming out that fast that really changed the way the game is. Like, sure, we'll get a new edition every 4 or 5 years, but this is really changing sort of the backstory of Warhammer, the way we play the games with like the new hero and lord allotment slots, and just like everything's different. All these new characters and stuff. Really great models. Like the last book with all the new undead stuff. Like that stuff was beautiful, gorgeous models. They continue that again with this nurgle release. I'm just really happy with the way things are going. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's changing up the meta. I think it's, yeah, I just started in the spring, so it wasn't becoming stale for me, but people that might have been playing since like when 8th dropped, maybe it was starting to become stale, and you're seeing the same kind of lists, like Dark Avoidance,
for sure.
Kind of lists. So I think this is really going to change up meta, and it just gives us a lot of flavor for when we want to just play Beerhammer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like all these new missions are really fun. Like they're maybe not geared towards tournament play because they're sort of either one-sided. The defender has a really big disadvantage, or the attacker, he's really got to pull something out of his ass to win the game. But the backstory behind it is just really cool aspect of all these new missions and stuff.
Yeah, no, I know we've been kind of itching to play still some of the ones from the Nagash book, and
we'll get to there eventually.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. It's damn jobs, but anyways. So no, I actually really like it. It's bringing the flavor back to Warhammer, and it's like these models are just sick. I don't play these armies, and I just want to go buy them now.
Yeah, for sure. And like another cool thing is it seems to like revitalize the community. Everyone seems to buzz with all the new info and trying to get like the latest inside scoop, or make the new list, right? Everyone seems really enthusiastic with the way the game's going now. It's kind of nice to see.
Cool. So I guess we'll
call it there.
Yeah, and we'll see you when we get some other new stuff for the releases.
All right, thanks guys.